Hi everyone, I'm Lily. I'm 7. Today I'm going to read a story. The title of this story is The Story of the Sun. Long ago, a curious boy lived in a far place to the east. There were mountains. To the west, there was a large sea. As each day began, the curious boy sat and looked to the east. He watched the sun rise over the mountain. At each day end, he looked at the west. He watched the sun sink into the sea. The curious boy's name was Ichiro. Ichiro wondered where the sun came from, and he wondered where it went each night. The harder Ichiro thought, the more confused he became. He wondered how many suns there really are. Would there even be a time when a new sun would not rise from the east? Ichiro was smart. He knew that the sun brought light. He knew that without the sun, everything would be dark. He also knew that the sun brought warmth. He loved to feel the warm sun on his brown skin. Ichiro worried about the day when the new sun might not rise. He was about living in a land of darkness. He was worried about being cold. He learned about a wise woman. He was told she knew the answer to everything, so he decided to visit her. The wise woman lived in a village. The village was near the mountain. It was near where the sun rose each morning. One morning, Ichiro woke early. He climbed on his giant pet emu and rode swiftly to the east. In a few hours, he entered the village. The wise woman greeted Ichiro warmly. She took him into her hut. She began to answer his question about the sun. First, she explained, where did the sun come from? Do you see that a large mountain? The one that is towering above all other mountains, she asked, pointing east. Ichiro replied, yes, I do. In fact, as the sun rises over the mountain each morning. What's the wise woman? That is where new sun comes from. Each night, and after the sun sinks into the sea, people from the village to go to the mountaintop. They carry large pieces of wood and coal with them. They drop the wood and coal into a large opening at the top of the mountain, she said. At the mountain began to rumble. It roared and smoked. The wise old woman kept telling her story. By morning, the rumbling is very loud. Then suddenly, the mountain spit out a giant ball of fire. The ball is spit out with great force. It shot out high to the sky. The fireball light and land below as it traveled across the sky. It also hit the land. When the ball of fire reached its highest point, it began to drop, she continued. In a few hours, it crashed into the sea. The cool water of the sea put out the ball of fire. It is very important that the villagers go to the mountain each night. They must feed it with wood and coal, she said. As long as we feed the mountain, it will make a new sun each morning. But ever we fail to do so, there will be no new sun. Then the land will become dark and cold. From that day on, Ichiro worried no more. Played happily in the tree. He knew it would always be light and heat as long as the villager took coal and wood to the mountain top. Read the sentence. If you worry about a day where the news might not rise, what does worry me? I felt good. B felt upset. C felt exciting. D felt surprised. I just B. What was the main problem? I didn't like living in a dark place. B. He worried that the news might not rise one day. B. He did not know how to find the wise woman. B. He was tired of being cold. I just B. What does Ichiro decide to do to solve his problem? I asked villager for answer. B. Forgot about it. C. Travel to the mountain top to find out. D. Asked a wise old woman. I just D. In the story, why did the sun disappear every day? I go behind the mountain. B. Smoke came from the mountain. B. C. Crashed into the sea. D. The villager don't feed the mountain. I choose C. Why did Ichiro run an enemy to the village? B. The enemy is scared for the woman. B. Ichiro is afraid to go alone. C. It is too far to walk. D. Amy knows the way. I choose C. What happened after the village dropped wood and coal into the opening of the mountain? A. The mountain began to rumble. B. The sand crashed into the sea. C. Ichiro played in the tree. D. The wise woman tells the story. I choose I. Read the sentence. The mountain began to rumble after the villager feeded wood and coal. What is a synonym for rumble? B. Roar. C. Smile. D. Rise. I choose B. What would happen if the villager forgot to feed the mountain? A. The mountain would become very angry. B. A volcano erupted from the mountain. C. The mountain would punish the villager. D. The sun will not rise. I choose D. Where did this story take place? Between a mountain and the ocean. B. In a far-off land. C. In a village. D. All the above. I choose D. When does the story take place? A. Long ago. B. Last week. C. Today. D. In the future. I choose A.
You're amazing. A perfect score.
I got 10 out of 10 correct. The end. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.